the volume nice and loud. Cause we are controlling transmission with dance beats and R&B. You're in the mix with Lil Drummer Girl. With your host, Dawn Marie. In the mix.
Hello, my drumsters. It's Dawn Marie, a host for today's show, and thank you again for tuning in. I hope you guys are safe and sound and that your families are doing well during this pandemic. And I'm sorry I've been out of commission for a few weeks here, but I was getting the book done. Yay, it's finally done. And I would love for you guys to check it out, especially you lovers of music, because the book does have the videos attached to the website along with the shopping guides and Facebook group. So there's so much going on with the book. It's not just the book, and I'm only selling it for $1 right now because I'm trying to raise some money for these couple of charities. So if you just go to 151secrets.com and you scroll down the page on the right hand side, you'll see that orange buy it now button. Fill in your deets and they will send you an email with the downloadable link to the files. And I hope you really enjoy it, because right now is the perfect time for you guys to be listening to this book, because if you are looking to do a couple of different things with your time or with your life, because maybe, you're not working right now and you might be thinking of starting another career, there's a lot of things in that book that can help you figure out what it is you need to do to get there. And there's so many other things that will teach you about diet and nutrition and love and intimacy and working on your relationships, and just so many important things in there. But I try to make it fun so that you can enjoy it while you're listening to it and make those changes in your life that can really make a difference in your life and feel fulfilled and happy and healthy, because who doesn't want that, right? And you can get it all for $1. So please help me out and go over there and pick up a copy. I'd really be grateful. But anyway, today's show is, I wanted to touch base with you guys because now is the time to really think about what it is you want to do with your future, right? So if you were gigging and now all of a sudden you're not gigging because the restaurants and bars and lounges are closed right now and they're not really up and running, there's so many different ways that I see people making money to keep the flow going, is doing live streams with their music. So if you want to think about that, you may want to check out, I think his name is Rick Barker, but he has a lot of stuff on social media which can really help you guys. So if you check him out, I will try to link him to the show notes if you want to check that out. But maybe crowdsourcing right now might be helpful to you, because as an artist, we all struggle, right? And it's not easy to make money. It was not easy to make money before this pandemic. And so right now with this pandemic, it's even harder. And I feel for all of you. Trust me, I do. And I know what it's like to not have any money and income coming in. It really sucks. And it's really hard. So try to think outside the box is what I always say, right? So what can you do? Do you have stuff at your house that you can sell? I know I'm looking at a bunch of clothes that I have that I know they just don't work for me. They don't work for my lifestyle anymore. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to put it on Let Go and start seeing what I can sell. I'm going to look at the old albums I have that I don't want anymore to try to sell. I'm looking at old electronics I have that I'm going to try to sell. Think about some of those things, because every little bit counts, and maybe you have a collection of stuff that it's just sitting there, you don't really look at it anymore. It doesn't really mean what it did mean to you in the past. So maybe now's the time to kind of pull it off, dust it off, and try to sell it and make some of that money back, and then take that money and maybe you can put it into a part-time business. I am going to be doing a class soon on podcasting, so if you're interested in that, I would love to share that with you guys, because it is a very interesting avenue, and I find that, I find it very fulfilling to have my podcasts. I mean, I think it's just one of these creative outlets for me, but for a lot of people, there are people making a lot of money on it. I'm not using it, monetizing it the way I probably should be. But I probably will look into that some more. It's just I have all these other things that I do right now, and I do work a full-time job. I've been contracted to help with this healthcare company that's I've been with for like the last 4 or 5 months, and So that's been taking up a lot of my time. Plus, I've been building these other courses on some fashion and makeup and headshot classes that I'm working on. So I'm trying to get those wrapped up. But there's maybe something that you might want to do that you find that's interesting, that maybe you always had a passion for as a kid. And it may not have anything to do with music or anything to do with the entertainment business. Maybe you just loved, creating ceramic ashtrays, I don't know, or pots for your plants, or, maybe you're good at making things with your hands. You may want to try to sell those on Etsy right now, create a little storefront on Etsy. It's free, and you can just get things up and running and, sell some of your pieces, because you never know. Maybe you make furniture. Maybe you love doing cabinetry or, any kind of woodworking or something like that. If you're a guy out there who loves to do that, why not, right? I mean, anything is possible. Maybe if you're not even making it, maybe you can teach them how to make it and sell the courses and make your own online courses to teach them how to make, bookends or something. I don't know, whatever it is. But we have to get creative right now. The world has changed so drastically, and they keep saying it's not going to go back to the way it was, right? So if that's the case, then how are we going to make it, right? We have to think outside the box. And I feel like one of the things we can do is to really look at some of the things that we really are passionate about. And yes, I know if you're a musician out there, that is your passion, but there's so many aspects to the music business. So maybe it's about teaching somebody how to play the instrument rather than just being up on stage, doing your gig. And you could still feel fulfilled because you're still playing and you're still doing the thing you love, but you're also helping somebody do something that they've always wanted to do. And there's nothing greater than that feeling. And trust me, I know, because when I would go to my talks and do seminars on skincare and fashion tips and how to look great and how to feel really good and how to really make a difference in your life day to day. And when I'd see people coming up to me afterwards and saying, "Oh, that was so great. Thank you for helping me. I didn't know this. I didn't know that. And you really helped me." I mean, it just makes my heart swell. I can't say it any better than that. And I love doing it, and I can't get enough of it. So there could be that one little thing there, that there's something that, you have this underlying passion for, but you never really explored it, or you never thought to really do anything with it. Maybe now's the time to, really get it started. And you know what they say, it begins with that first step and that first action step. So maybe it's just a matter of, pulling out that old thing, dusting it off, maybe creating a new binder, get a little organized and say, I'm going to put all this stuff having to do with this one topic in there so that when it comes time and you're ready to rock and roll with it, you got everything you need and you can kind of get started. Write it down, take some time out, go to a park and sit under a tree or sit by some water or on your balcony if you have a balcony, or your backyard, wherever it can be outside in nature, and with a pad and pen, and try to do this alone, or just when you're not going to get interrupted, and let your mind wander and go back in time and think about, what did you do when you were a kid? What did you love? What didn't you have enough time of? Maybe you made model airplanes. Well, maybe you can do them again, and maybe you can sell them, right? Maybe you can, maybe it was you were collecting cards or, baseball cards. Maybe you have a great collection of cards that you can sell right now. Whatever it was, think about those things and see what you can bring back to life. Because, right now, people are home, they're looking to learn things, they're looking to change their careers, they're looking to make changes. So maybe this is the time for you to make those changes too, so that you can be the change agent to help these guys out there who are looking for the information you have. And the other thing is keeping your calendars open and so that you can really focus. And, if you have to block the time on your calendar to do something, please do that. Because if we don't do those things sometimes, guess what? Doesn't happen. So I like putting things on my calendar, like, okay, spend an hour to work on my book, or spend an hour to work on my courses, or, go work on my walk, whatever it is, and work on my health, or work on my, getting some exercise in. If I don't put them in the calendar, I can guarantee they're going to just disappear. And even when they're on the calendar, sometimes they don't stay on the calendar because somebody's urgent fire thing takes me away from it, right? And that, I'm sure it happens to you all the time. But if you're, if you have to get up a little earlier, I say do that. because I love the morning time where there's nobody. It's your time. It's the best time of the day. You can create that day and make it the way you want it to go, because if you get at least that 1 hour time slot in the morning to yourself and you focus on whatever it is that you're trying to do, you would be amazed at what you can get done in those 60 minutes. I know nobody wants to get up at the crack of dawn. Trust me, I do it, and it's tough. So that's why I go to bed earlier, so that I could get up earlier. But maybe that's something you need to do. If you're a night owl and you're up till 2 or 3 in the morning, you're not going to want to wake up at 5 in the morning. You're most likely going to wake up at 2 in the afternoon. And you know what I used to find when I used to do that when I was 18 years old is that I lost the whole day and sucked. I hated it because I felt like, well, if I stay out and I go out and whatever, I stay up till 2 and 3 in the morning, I'm not going to want to wake up at 7. But there were days where I did have to wake up at 7 because I had to go to work, and I would go around on 4 hours sleep, and you know what? That's no fun. I hated it, and I felt horrible. So I'm sure you've been there, and maybe now's the time to get more rest and to do some, reflection and think about some of the things that you can do to make some good habits in your life that's going to make these like major changes for the better, right? Because they always say it's hard to break the bad habits, but it's always easy to instill good habits. So just add a few good habits into your life, then it's going to knock out the bad habits, right? And maybe one of those is just trying to get some more sleep every day. Because if you want to get something important done, you need to have the energy. And everything we do takes energy. Even just breathing takes energy, right? So you want to rest, and you want to make sure that you're getting the proper care and eating well, because you know what? If we eat crappy food, we feel crappy. So don't eat the crappy Doritos and stay away from the McDonald's and the Burger Kings. And I know it's easier said than done, because I actually just had some this week and I was really pissed at myself for doing it. Because every time I do it, it tastes so good going down, but it just wreaks havoc on my body afterwards. So try to stay away from the processed foods and just try to eat more greens, and have some smoothies in the morning. If you start your day off with a smoothie, it kind of sets the tone for the day, right? Because you say, oh, I just did something really good for myself, and I want to kind of keep on that track. And I know how hard it is. Like, I love carrot cake and I love red velvet cake. So if I see it and it's around me, it's like, yeah, I'm going to break down and have a piece. But I always feel like it's carrot cake, right? So it's healthier, but that's not the case. So, if we stay away from the sugar, the whites, right? The sugar, the dairy. And now they're saying eggs are bad for us, even the egg whites. So it's really hard to figure out what's good for us. And we all have these allergies. And I think it's because of all the hormones and antibiotics inside of like the milk. I heard it's like 1 tablespoon of milk has like 100,000 something of pus in it. It's like, ick, right? Who the hell wants that? Because these cows just keep getting milk so badly that like their udders, they get infection, then they say, oh, we pasteurize it, but it's still in there. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on a tangent here, but I'm just saying, just try to think about those little things, because they're not really little things. They are little things, but they make a big difference in the way we feel and the way we look. And your skin's going to love it too, and your hair. It's amazing. And if you have illnesses, I've been listening to this woman, her name is Dr. Goldner. I think her first name is Brooke. And, she had really bad lupus, and she was 16 years old, and it was horrible. And for 2 years, it was just really bad for her. And then she just started changing her diet and eating all this, like a pound of greens a day and smoothies and this and that. And all of her symptoms went away. And she became a doctor, and now she's, teaching everybody about it. And I've been studying more about it, because I really do believe we are what we eat. And I'm not going to make this a nutrition show, but since we're talking about nutrition, I'm just trying to pass on the information that I've been learning, because I feel like when I eat well, I feel so much better. I've got more energy. My skin is glowing. It just all the way around, it makes me feel good, right? And then when I eat the crappy food, I feel sluggish and lethargic, and I just feel like, ugh. Do you feel that way? Well, it could be what you eat, and I hate to say it. But anyway, just try it out. You know what? It doesn't hurt to try it out. You may just fall in love with it and become the next, whole food guru, and you'll be teaching me something new next week, right? Who knows? But anyway, I just want you guys to know that I love you very much. I am there for you. I hope we can all get through this together. If we all work together, we can get through this, and hopefully, we will get back to some sort of normalcy, and we will be able to, live vibrantly and still have joy and love. And if we live from love, then we can't go wrong, right? So try to love your neighbors as you would love yourself, as they say in the Bible, and I think we can go a long way. All right, you guys, remember, please pick up a copy of that book if you can. Go to www.151secrets.com. It's only $1, and I think you could afford the $1. That's why I made it $1. So thank you again. I'm thanking you in advance. And remember, it's never too late to begin to live the life of your dreams and leave a trail blazing behind you. So rock on and rock out, and I'll catch you on the flip side.